Hello everybody. I don't know what I'm expecting when I click the go live button, but I don't know. There is still a big mess behind me. There is still a big mess behind me. There is still a big I also behind me as I came in. I also behind there is 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 I came in. I also Okay. Echo should be gone. Obviously it's playing the stream somewhere. Yes. I don't have headphones on, so I can't hear anything, but OBS was streaming my desktop audio, so whew. Thank you for that. I think it was Rico that, well, bazillions of people said it. Appreciate it, but thank you for bringing that to my attention. So the only thing we've missed so far is my office is still a mess. I have a large tower of boxes, and yeah, that's it. Okay, so we talked about it on last week's stream that there is a project that integrates Spotify or integrates into Spotify's API using an ESP8266, and I thought that it would be nice to make that a library because the project is pretty deep and is really specific to one type of screen and stuff. And I like making more kind of generic sort of libraries that the integration with Spotify is looked after by the library, but then it makes it available for you to use on any screen, like any project that you want to integrate it into, it should be available. 100% for the next like 10 minutes, you'll probably hear some crying in the background. It is bedtime in my house, so apologies about that. But yes, so Adam Bryant, Spotify is a music streaming service. I presume you know that. But yeah, so we won't be playing the music on an ESP8266. What we'll be hopefully doing is getting the information of what is playing. And that's fine. Like, I'm not overly interested in seeing what is playing, but that might be useful for somebody that like they've got speakers going on and they have a little ticker display of what's playing, which could be nice. And then the other thing that I'm really interested in doing is having like a skip button or a volume up or volume down button, because we listen to it a lot using She Who Shall Not Be Named from Amazon. And like sometimes it's really awkward to change songs on it. My daughter is getting really picky with like what songs she wants to listen to. Like she wants specific ones, and it would be handy to have like a button that would like bring it back to the start of that song or whatever. It is quite like a CD that gets mailed to you. Yes, Spotify is Swedish, isn't it? Just gonna say hello to some people. She can understand it pretty good. Yes. She can understand it pretty good. I don't know if she'd understand me setting the volume to a certain thing. Who else do we got here? We got John McRae, hello. Julio Cesar, I believe I saw you're from Brazil earlier. Hello to you. Campervan Creations, how's it going? John Raymond, Colin Hickey, and everybody else who's in the chat. Hello to all of you. Yes, so we haven't missed anything, so let's take a look at a screen share. We'll look at the project that I was talking about originally. I think it's by Ting Pulse. Spotify remote. Yes. Let me share my screen. Yes. We'll just zoom in a little bit. Yeah, so this is the ESP8266 Spotify remote by Ting Pulse. I'm not sure if I'm going to need to use nearly any of it, but we'll see. It's nice that it's here to kind of go back to. But it's a couple of years old. Well, I suppose it was fixed a few months ago. Or sorry, it was updated a few months ago, so hopefully it still works. But yeah, so Ting Pulse are a company ran by a guy called Daniel Eichhorn, I believe, and he's based in Switzerland. And yeah, so this is a project over on the left here. So I think that's his phone, and over on the left here he has his Ting Pulse color kit. So it's a touchscreen display. I guess it's a display somewhat similar to the ones that come with Unexpected Makers, Reflow Master, or whatever, that kind of a display. But as I said, the sketch is completely intertwined with running on this exact display, and I would like to just kind of break that part out, as in make the Spotify thing one thing, and then the display be whatever you want to do. Like if you get back this song, like the artist and the song title as a string, for want of a, we'll try not to use Arduino strings, but say you get it back as just a piece of text, then you can put it anywhere, right? If you want to put it on a matrix display, you want to send it as a message to someone, do whatever. Yes. So that would be something I would like to do. So just to set out like the expectations, if I got this part working today, where you just got back the artist and song of what was playing, I'd be happy. That would be a success in my eyes. So I guess, yes, this will probably be another thing that might be interesting to get, like how long has been played in the song or whatever. Not super important to me, but like I could see why it'd be useful. We'll see what happens with the album art. I don't have a lot of interest in it, but we'll see how it comes back. I haven't even looked at the Spotify API, so we'll see if that, like, if it's a URL to a JPEG or something, then we can totally bring that back. And if somebody wants to, like, expose it themselves, cool. And then the buttons, like, they have to also send a command back through the API, right? So I don't know why I'm so far over in this. I'll just shake myself over here. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with this. Yeah, so what's nice is he has like instructions on how to access the Spotify API. I thought this was interesting too, that like he's using a callback. So I guess it's for like OAuth authentication, right? Where like it seems to be in the project. He says when you run it for the first time, you go through additional steps. The display will ask you to open a browser to a specific location. So I guess that's kind of given an authentication URL where you would then bring it to your computer browser, put it in, and then like log in to Spotify. And if you did that, then it knows that the ESP is like an acceptable, that is now authorized to your account. Yeah, sure, Mark, no problem. Yeah, so I'm a big fan of a band called Angels and Airwaves. Like I don't think it's like, I wouldn't go to everybody, it's the best music ever. I just really enjoy it. And there's a song called The Adventure I think it's called The Adventure, and she loves it. She just spins like literally for the entire song. Uh, it makes me sick just looking at her, just from the thought of spinning that much. But yes, okay. So I have done exactly one thing before this. I logged into Spotify because I wasn't sure of my password. Originally, I signed up to Spotify through like a Facebook account, and then I kind of wanted to get rid of Facebook. Um, it is a Blink 182 offspring. The guitarist from Blink 182 is the head guy of Angels and Airwaves, but it's doesn't sound like Blink at all, I would say. Yes, okay, so we're here uh, on my dashboard, so that doesn't look like it's changed a huge amount. So he says, click on my new app. I guess at some stage it's going to give me stuff here that I can't share with you guys, right? Set the unique client ID and client secret as values in the respective variables and settings.h. So that's going to be like an OAuth thing, right? So maybe we just I'll I'll do each step off screen and I'll bring it on to you every time I'm not sharing my keys with you. How about that? Okay. Like I'll let you know if it's any different than that one too. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on my new app, which is the same as this here. Right, so that's what I'm gonna do. Create an app. Fill out form, give your app a name. It's the exact same as this page here. So we'll do ESP test. Describe your app or hardware in Max to ESP8266 test. I can't see the chat at the moment. I'll be back in a second. He says, it's safe to say I don't know for what it is. I have basically the same options he has. So I'm just going to click I don't know. You cannot submit a... Okay, so it's saying I cannot submit a commercial integration. I guess that's fine. You're free to create a non-commercial application. I guess if you were doing like a commercial application, that would be, you know, if you wanted to like ship it with a product or something, right? But that's not what we're doing. I have the same things here. So I'm just going to click submit. And now I have... Okay, so it's actually shown... It doesn't show the client secret. It kind of... Yeah, there's a button like this to say show client secret. So that's nice, but I guess I don't need to show it to you, right? Okay, so he says click on edit settings and add this as our callback. Okay, I guess we'll do that too. I'm interested in that part. Maybe we don't need to do that on the ESP, but then again, I don't know where it would be better to do it. So we'll just do this. We'll add it as he mentions. So it's the same as his thing here. I get the same options, so I guess there isn't a huge amount of point showing you my specific one. I'll just copy that. And there's a redirect URL, and I'm just adding that link as it is, and it's added now. And that's it. And then I'm just going to click save, the same as it is down here. Okay, so that's done. Right, so I guess we have to go look at the API now, right? I assume he changed his keys, right? I do that sometimes as well, where I just like, you know, I take a screenshot of exactly what it is and then I reset the key afterwards. I think that makes sense. Okay, so there's an albums. Thank you. Mark Olson has sent a link to the albums with the OAuth key. Right. Okay, so what I need to actually find though is like the docs. Okay. Let's hope I don't so it's surely the web API, right? Music metadata. That's what we want, right? To allow the user to search song, maybe not. Spotify Connect with the web API to let users control Spotify speakers. That's possibly what we want. Either to let users control Spotify on speakers and TV. Yeah, that could be what we want. By using the Spotify developer tools, yeah, that's fine. Based on simple REST principles, we'll return JSON metadata. Okay. Web API, let me bring up you guys. Give me chocolate. Yeah, so it's one big API, but I presume the documentation will bring me to a specific place. Maybe it won't. REST is best. Okay. They're giving me a nice overview of REST APIs, which is nice of them. Spotify ID that you can find at the end of a Spotify URL for an artist track. Unlike Spotify URI, Spotify ID does not clearly identify the resource. Okay. Rate limiting. Rate limiting enables Web API to share bandwidth. Rate limiting is applied to application based on client ID, regardless of the number of users who use the application simultaneously. Okay, so that's basically if you create a website that does something, it will be based on the users who are logged in, I guess. REST is good for an ESP, yeah. Responses, pagination, probably won't be doing that. Response codes, this is really, can we see kind of like examples of it? Quick start, I suppose, sounds good. So we set up our account. So who watched my video about how to connect to APIs? What is the first thing I did in that, or what is the first thing I mentioned I should do? So I posted Gimme Gimme Chocolate, which is a song from the J metal group Baby Metal. I've never heard of it. Okay, so the first thing I did was I connected using like Postman, but I guess we probably can't do that because we need to be authenticated. So maybe we are best off doing it on, there's npm examples we could do instead. Yes, you can get a link to that. Where is the link to that? Scraping data, connecting to an API. Please don't play music or play stuff. There's some serious laughing going on in the background here. This is that. Oh, they have a console. Even better. Right, so I can do a get token. Required scopes for this endpoint. You required scopes for this endpoint. Ah, that's interesting. Okay, nothing is going to... Thank you for that link, Mark. Can't find it. I sent a link for it there, didn't I? Yeah. So yeah, Mark, this is perfect. This console, we I don't know what's going on in the background there. Right. So I'm not going to actually run the request just yet because what is going on here? Maybe if I reload okay, there we go. Yeah, so this is perfect. So it shows what's going on here. So it's player probably that I want, but so get user's current profile. I don't want to do that just on screen because I don't know exactly what that reveals of me, but let's try that out. And again, I'll try it off screen. Well, sorry, do you know what I'll do? I'll get a blank one. I'll leave a blank one there. So I'm clicking this get token button and it pops up a thing saying like required scopes for this endpoint. And yeah, sure, I can show you that. It's user read private, user read email. So I'm just going to click request token on that. It's popping up a thing to say Spotify for developers console. Basically, it's like a standard thing to say like, hey, this application is requesting this information. Like if you ever sign into something using your Twitter account or your Gmail account, it's that kind of a deal. Okay, so I have an OAuth token now, and I'm gonna just click try. So yeah, it's coming back with a response of stuff from me, like my Spotify user, my display name, things like that. Stuff that probably isn't useful for an Arduino one. So, but that's fine. Let's go to player. Okay, so currently playing. This is the thing I want, right? This is the first step in what I want is currently playing. I wonder what this market is. Additional types episode. I don't know what that is. That's interesting. We might take a look at that in a minute. But what is required? Get the users currently playing track. Okay, so let's. I guess maybe we can play something nice and royalty free. Royalty. I hope this is royalty free. Do you wanna listen to some stupid music that's royalty free? I suppose I'd have to listen to it too, in case it's like dropping F-bombs and stuff. Okay, no. We'll just have that playing, because I'd never be able to get the volume of it right and stuff. Okay, so I'm playing some royalty free music now. Screen share plus me. Alright. This fractured song. So let's see if we can get that to show up. My light seems to be changing in brightness, which isn't the best. Oh, there's a token, everybody. You're welcome. Can we get a new token? Users reading point. How do I get rid of my token now? Great. Was anybody kind enough to mention that I can't use Postman? Did anyone? Probably for now. Yeah, I guess the token only has stuff like you could find out what my email is and stuff. So I guess that's fine. So apologies. Can you add a like button? We'll find out. I'd imagine you can. DJ Martinez, your English was good enough for me to understand anyways. Much better than my French. Okay, so I wonder, can I get rid of that token if I wanted to? Is that a token from me? Dashboard. Does it show my tokens? Look, it's fine. I'll just be more careful. All of you will be really nice anyways. I think that email is pretty easy to find, so it's fine. Okay. Let's get on to this. Okay, so we're gonna click try it, and Spotify, external URLs, single. Is it showing a ton of countries? Okay, so the response is pretty big, which I was hoping it wouldn't be. It's possibly too big for Arduino JSON. I just want to go through it and make sure there's nothing here that is incriminating to me. Doesn't look like it is local popularity. Yeah, this looks fine. But I guess it has the newer OAuth token, so I'll just copy it into this thing. What's going on? Okay. So this isn't ideal for like reading on the Arduino because it's there's so much stuff, right? Like available markets. I guess this is where the song is available on. That's a lot. Like, so arrays aren't great when you're parsing Arduino or on Arduino JSON stuff. You could probably already see that anyways, right? Where you got another token from where? Where did you get the other token from? Oh, you're lying to me. Yes, anyways, arrays. This is a terrible idea for something to do on stream. But anyways. Anywho. Right, so so this is fine. Timestamp, that's not going to change. Context, solid, not going to change. All this stuff, solid, not going to change. Artists, I guess a single can have multiple artists, right? And the fact that this is an array proves that. But this available markets thing, having like this many countries isn't great. But then what's worse than that is, so the images are just URLs as well. So perfect, we can get them back for people, no problem. Here's the name of the song, Fractured, all good. So if we wanted the name of the song, there, Fractured was the name of the album, was it? No, Fractured is the name of the song. And then the artist was this Unikid thing, right? So there is our song name and our artist. And we have our album arts or whatever. So that's all fine. But again, available markets is a big, long thing. I guess they're only country codes, so maybe it's not that bad. But I just don't think it's going to be great for... and so here is... Again, name, again, Fractured, which was the name of the song. Again, name, popularity, preview, I don't know what all that stuff is, and whether it's currently playing, disallows, okay, grand. So, see you, Pratesh. Oh, yeah, it's available to watch later on. No problem. It'll be on my channel. So you've kind of two options when you're parsing JSON on Arduinos. Your two options are Arduino JSON, which is my preferred option. And then you also have the option of using JSON Streaming Parser by Daniel Eichhorn, the guy who wrote the Spotify one. Um, so the streaming parser one is better for large payloads. I don't know if that Spotify one is big enough though. Like it could be okay to it could be okay to it could be okay to do on Arduino JSON. Do you know what? Let's throw it into Arduino JSON's calculator thing and see what happens, right? So let me just follow Mark Olson's thing first. Oh, it's got me into Swedish, so let me just change that to EN maybe. No, it's not EN. IE? Yes. Ah, yes, I can remove access, so it would be from... it would be from... Oh yeah, but I don't want people who are viewing this to have access to it, right? As in somebody could go use my account now, right? Well, all they could do is like view my email. It's revoked now. Thank you, Mark Olson. Control Alt A, tell the size, please. Yes, okay, so... But it's not just the size, right? Because it is small because of all of this. Oops, I'm not sharing my screen. That's not my screen. That's my screen. So, like, this is small in terms of characters, but it's not small in terms of memory because it has to be allocated at, you know, like it has to be allocated a string, basically. It's 4 megabytes of flash, but that's not what is important here. I guess it'd be RAM. So it's 5,000 characters. 5,287 characters. But I guess some of that could be my spaces as well, so who knows. So I'm going to take this, right, so I've just Control A, selected it all, and I'm going to go to Arduino JSON assistant SRAM. Sizes can be significantly larger on for 615.1. Yeah, whatever. So I'm just going to paste it in here. So it's saying that it's 6,092. I don't know if that's big or small or whatever, but maybe we'll just do it and see what happens, right? You know what? I could actually use... No, I was going to say I could use the token from the thing, but I can't because that token is specific to the community thing. So I was just thinking, could I just test this request now? So somebody mentioned, was I using Postman, and I'm not, because I have to set up the OAuth part of it. So I don't think I can use Postman for that. So that's fine. Okay, so if you've never used the Arduino JSON assistant before, it's pretty handy because like you dump in the entire response, it tells you how much space you need to allocate for it. So you can see here there's like 79 entries into the arrays, which is pretty big. It's in Postman authorization bearer token. Yeah, so I guess I'm after getting rid of my let me just reload that page now. I have to get a new token because I accept. Yeah, so maybe I can use Postman as... well, better just open Postman not on stream in case it's showing some token of some description. So it's just a get. It's using the bearer token. Okay, so uh, sorry, I'm doing some stuff off stream here. Is there anything here? No. Okay, so task plus me, screen share plus me. Right, so this is Postman. I'm going to only have it up for a short amount of time. So in the console thing that that Mark linked to, hey Gavin, how's it going? So in the console thing that Mark linked to, it also like it gives you a sample request for like a load of different things, but also in the sample request that it gives is like down the bottom is like a curl example, and it has everything, including the like bearer token, which is the authorization token. So I guess I could actually test this out on the ESP as well using this token, which I'm kind of surprised about, but we'll get to that. Well, sorry, I'm not surprised, but I guess that would kind of solve problems. I wonder what is the limitations to using it. But anyways, so it has, it basically has a curl example with all the headers and stuff that you need to put into it, and I'm going to copy them over now, and I'll just not copy over the bearer token till afterwards. So it's a get request to this URL. There is headers on it. There is accept, right? Key is accept. The value is application JSON. Content type is there could be a rate limitation to it. Okay, but for testing out, I'd be happy enough to do that, because we could still we could do the proper OAuth way if it works, and then you have a proper header. Right, so then we have another key that I'm not going to copy the value of. So it's authorization. Then there's the word bearer, which I'll copy. But then there's a key, like my token after that, which I'm going to take off screen now. So I'm just filling in the rest of that key, and I'm clicking send. And yeah, okay, so I got the exact same thing back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test this out on an ESP, right? So part of that API video that I linked to, and I should probably put in the description, because I'm going to be referencing it quite a lot, is part of that API video was mentioning that you could I made an example sketch that was for just connecting to any endpoint and just testing it out, that you should do this before you do anything else. Encoding. I hope that isn't a problem. Okay, so let's go to Brian's GitHub. Find a repository. I hate this view. Let's just click on this one and click on this one. This is the view I prefer. So if you go to repositories, sample API request. So this is the guy, so ESP8266 HTTP GET. So I don't do any parsing of data in this. Literally just you put in your host, you put in a fingerprint. So I still haven't gotten around to doing what you were talking about, Gavin, with the certificates, but I will at some stage. So it connects to the Wi-Fi, makes the HTTP request, so it just makes the connection, does the get. So I'll have to add in a few more headers here because the only header I have is host and cache control, no cache, but I guess that isn't important. But we'll have to add the bearer token and what was the other one that I said that there was? There was the content type and the accept. So yeah, we'll have to add that stuff in here too. And yeah, so it's just going to basically send off that request, skip over the headers that come back, and then just print anything else it gets back directly to the serial monitor. So that would be good. Like if we could get that back, we can then move on to the next stage, which would be trying to parse it using Arduino JSON. Yeah, so it'd be great if like this example didn't have it. The only thing about that is it would require the user to have uploaded the cert, right, to their spiffs. So I still haven't come up with a good idea for that yet. Like I guess you'd have to use the spiffs writer or something, or maybe like, yeah, I don't know. I haven't figured that out. Maybe a sketch where you like drag the cert file onto a web page that's hosted on the ESP and it uploads it. I'll get to it. Not for today. Right, so let's just grab the raw of this. Select it all, come over here. Blah, 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 blah. Let's make a new sketch on my Arduino thing here. Okay, so let's, do I have battery in my phone? I hope I do. I have some, that's fine. So I'm gonna hotspot my phone because the Wi-Fi is really poor up here. So that gets around that problem. You'll need these scopes when you control playback. Yeah, so I'll update the token as I'm kind of doing those extra stuff. Mark, thanks for the links. So like that console link that you gave me is great. So I'm gonna, before I even test it on Postman, I'm gonna test it on that first. You can write to the spiffs in the Arduino IDE. I didn't know that. I thought that was like a kind of like a plugin or something that you needed to do. That's interesting. Thank you. I need to just change my brine stream. Nobody go war driving around my house now. Brine is great. Or do come in for a cup of tea. Okay, so what can you see? Because I've stuff on top here. Okay, so I'm after creating a Wi-Fi account, which is brine stream, and the password is brine is great. Okay, so host is so I'm gonna show you something without trying to show you my bearer token. I can take a screenshot of it. Yes, this would work out quite nicely. And I'll just scribble out stuff. So in Postman, and I mention it in the video, is let me just scribble out some stuff here. Blah blah blah. Okay. Yeah, so in Postman, there is a code option up the top here, top right, and if you select HTTP from the drop down, this gives you really close to what you want for the Arduino IDE, right? Thank you, Gavin. That'd be really nice. Yeah, so this gives you. I know it's really like zoomed out at the moment for you, but like this gives you really close to what you want for the Arduino IDE. So there's the get URL that you need. Host is there, what it accepts, the content. There's the authorization. So there's the headers. You can drop some of them. You might need a user agent, maybe you do, but yeah. So like, if you're doing that, if you want to integrate with an API, I really recommend going through something like Postman first, testing out that you can make the request on that. Because if you can't make it on Postman, you're probably not going to be able to make it on the ESP anyways. And then, like, because you can view the code thing here, you get all the headers that you need. And you possibly don't need, like, the bottom half of it. I don't know why host is there twice, for example. But, yeah, highly recommend. Okay, so host is API Spotify.com. I'll just use their fingerprint, I suppose, for now. So I'll just go to api.spotify.com, which redirects me to developer.spotify.com. Oh wait, I'll just put in the so I'm just trying to get the the fingerprint, but when I went to api.spotify.com it redirected me. But that's fine. So you can see here I went directly and it says no token provided, so I got a 401. So what do? You go to this, you go to that. Was it more information? I can't remember how to do this now. This was surely it, right? Modulus. I completely forget. Do you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm just going to do set insecure. So I've mentioned a bazillion times what that is, but I will mention it 1 bazillion and one more time. So the set fingerprint, which is something that I will be replacing with what Gavin has been mentioning in the chat, where you use assert. What that does is, so there's kind of two parts to HTTPS requests. One is that it encrypts the data. It was there, okay, but that's fine. So one part of HTTPS is it encrypts the data. So like it doesn't send it in plain text anymore. It is encrypted between you and the other endpoint. So this is one of the big complaints around VPNs advertising, is that they're saying like, oh, if you want to be safe, you can use, our VPNs and nobody will be able to snoop on you. And the thought process is that if you're using HTTPS with good encryption anyways, which like your bank or whoever should be, people already can't snoop on you because it's encrypted between you and the other point. But that's one point of HTTPS. The other point of it is that it needs a way to validate that who you're talking to is who they say they are, or at least is trusted. Thank you, Mark. I will grab that. You even got the spaces for me and stuff. Thank you. Yeah. So it mentions the who the other person is, like, is who they say it is. Right. SHA-1 AB. Yeah. It was a little bit longer than the other one, so maybe it is this SHA-1 one. Yeah, so the point of that would be kind of like, so, okay, you're connected to your bank and you're sending your, like, yeah, so you go to mybank.com and normally that's all good. But if somebody got in between you and the internet and you went to mybank.com and like they saw your request to mybank.com and they redirected you to their server, and they had like the bank's website, a fake version of the bank's website, and when you typed in your stuff, it like you've now given away your username and password. That's bad. um but your browser knows who to or what certificate to expect for your bank's website, and if they don't match up, it goes, no, something's wrong here, buddy. You see that error sometimes where like websites let their certificates expire or whatever. So yeah, two parts of it. One is the encryption and the other part is the trust of who you're talking to. So the fingerprint is kind of a not a great, it's an okay way of checking that who you're talking to is who you expect it to be. So like in this scenario here, this is the fingerprint for api.spotify.com. So if the server I'm talking to doesn't have this fingerprint, I don't trust they are who they are. So the connection will fail if it's anybody else. But the problem with tokens is they change. Fingerprints is they change. So, for example, Telegram changed their fingerprint last week. And if anybody was using the token with their Telegram bots, it just would stop working, because it would just reject it. So you have two options then on an ESP8266. For something like where you're just reading the track data, maybe it's okay to just have like client.set insecure. But the problem with that is that if I had my token authorized to do things like make purchases on my account or change my email or change my password or anything like that, it would be a bad thing if suddenly I was sending requests to someone I didn't know who it was. So, anywho, thank you for the fingerprint. So that's all good. Okay, so the next thing that I need to get is the API, or sorry, the URL. So I'll paste it in here. So it's v1 me player currently playing. So like this would also be a place where you would put in like parameters, like maybe, I don't know, hello equals whatever. But there isn't any for this. So this is just the endpoint to say, hey, for this person who has this authorization token, tell me what they're currently playing. Fingerprint is from the 10s. Yeah. Well, like the fingerprint method is still a decent method probably for the ESP32 at the moment, right? Because Gavin, I haven't tried any of the cert stuff myself, but Gavin was mentioning that it isn't as good. HTTP 1.1, that's fine. Host is test host, so that should be fine. Let's put in some other stuff. So another one we had was accept. I'll put in. Do you know what? I will just, seeing as it's not a variable, right? It's all hard coded. I'll just do this. There was also the same for content type. And then the last thing is the authorization token. So I guess I can put that in a secret.h or something, and Spotify test. Just saving the sketch. I don't know why I created a new folder for it, because it's going to now be in a folder called Spotify Test, in a folder called Spotify Test. I'll get a 401, but I need to put in the bearer token, right? I shouldn't get a 401 if I have the bearer token. Println for the new header. Yes, thank you. That is a good point. So thank you, Albert. Yeah, so what I did there was I copied this where I'm doing a print of host, and then I'm doing the println after the test host part of it, which is api.spotify.com. And when I got rid of the second line and just put it all in one line, this would have caused the problem. So thank you, Albert. Cool. Yes, I'll definitely talk. It needs the right scope. But it'll be the same bearer token that I used on Postman, right? So it should be fine. Like this should emulate the same request that I made on Postman, right? Unless I'm missing something. I will definitely talk to you sometime not on a stream, Bolly, about that. User read currently. Get users playing request. Me player currently playing. This is the... Oh, I did, yeah. So like on that link you gave me, there's a button for get token in the UAuth token option, and at that stage it actually tells you this request needs this, and there's a load of other checkboxes you can do too. Yeah, I just took the required one. Yeah, no, I did go through that. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, so once I do the bearer token, I should be good to go here. So I'm going to just hash define that in a new tab, I guess. Secret.h. Don't know. 20% remaining. Yeah, no, it works even on... I did the same test on Postman too, so it should be good. Right, so secret.h, except this is now going to be my... I'll just call it OAuth, maybe. OAuth. And now, this is the point where I need to take ye off me. Me zoomed. Here you can just... bearer token. Grab this from Postman, I guess. Or why wouldn't I just get it from Spotify's website, I suppose? Right, I should be able to bring you back now. Screen share plus me. Right, so I just need to do hash include secret.h. Secret.h. Now I should have access to my hash define, which was OAuth, I think. I forget what I called it. It was OAuth, right? I'm pretty sure it was OAuth. So I can go here and I'll copy this one, I suppose. And it was authorization bearer So I'm back to not having the println. I think I called it a what. Sure, it'll complain if it wasn't. So that should be it. In terms of. That should be it in terms of. So we have, like, we should be able to connect to the Wi-Fi. I need a D1 Mini. I was playing with one on the MakerCast last night. Here it is. So we'll plug that in. Didn't feel like it did anything. Might be connected to my hub. 1 second. Okay. Yeah, okay, we're in business with the ESP. It has a blinky light on it, everything's great. Okay, so we'll go to tools, scroll down to a D1 Mini. We'll go to port COM11, I'm guessing. And then we'll click upload, see what happens. That's fine. I don't care about that. So, while this is compiling, what does anybody want to ask me? Or what do you want to talk about? Or anything? Okay, done uploading. You're out of time. Sorry. Okay, so let's look at my serial monitor. It is connecting to the Wi-Fi. Well, hey, look at that. Available markets is all there. What's it playing? What song is it? Fall Back to Me. And yes, Fall Back to Me is what's playing here. Invaders of 9 remix. Is it? Yeah, you can ask anything. I just won't answer everything. Ask me anything, but don't expect answers for everything. How about that? We got data. So yeah, that's it coming back. What I'd actually be interested as well is if I throw this into the, so this is long, it has a longer name, like of a song and stuff. So I'm curious if I throw this into the JSON assistant thing, will it be bigger? Because I'm not fully sure how it handles. Oh, it doesn't like my still to, oh, it's not JSON, right? It's open curly bracket, close curly bracket. Oh, 7199. So it is bigger, right? Like that's bigger than it was before, I think. I can't remember. I still have that here. So okay, 7199 and 6092, right? So like how close was I to join a cult? A song from the list. I don't know any of the songs on this list. How close was I to join? Hey, Unexpected Maker. It's not, well, it is most certainly early for you, but it's not a particularly early start. I am 1 hour after I would normally start streaming. So like we're kind of at the stage here where we could start throwing this into an API, into a library. We need to provide a way for the user to get the authorization token, but at the moment, we could totally just have a sketch where it's like, give me the bearer token, and that's it. Okay. Awesome sauce. Right, so we start making a library out of this. Is playing. It's a pretty good endpoint. No, we won't make a library out of this. We should probably do test that Arduino JSON can handle this, right? And we'll print out, because like, not liking the look of this. Item available, item available, item available. Ugh, it's horrible. Everyone doing well. Yes, sure. Yeah, no, things are going pretty good. Going pretty good here too. Yes, let's throw this into Arduino JSON and we will see, does it work? I don't actually use Arduino JSON that much in sketches. So let's include it. Include library Arduino JSON. Should probably get like the recommended libraries. That's weird. Okay, so there's Arduino JSON. I'm gonna have to look at some of my other libraries to figure out how to do this. Okay, so let's go to no, that's not what I want. This one, GitHub. Witness me now. Repositories. So probably my best example of an API library at the moment is the Hackaday API one, because it uses version 6 of Arduino JSON, and it doesn't use any strings. So I'm just figuring out what I did with that. So this make get request is really similar to the thing that's already in the example code at the moment, but then it returns true, get project info. So this is the part that we need to copy. So we're getting a buffer size. So let's do that. Let's do this, blah, 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 blah. So we got down here. And this is where we're in Arduino. This is where Arduino JSON wants to shine. So we're going to take, that assistant. I'm going to take the bigger one. I'm just going to add crap to it. No, do you know what? It was like, I think I'm just going to make it like 10,000 and see what happens, right? Because the other one was like 7. So we'll just make it like 10,000 and we'll see what happens. Definitely going to make that optional. So it's like buffer size 10,000. Seems like a good number to me. And then we can do make get request. It's a dynamic JSON document that we create. Go back in here. We deserialize the client. Yeah, just make a giant one. Was a good stream. Why is it no longer a good stream? Oh, sorry, the MakerCast. Yes, that was a good start to the MakerCast for sure. I was like, where is he going with this? And then I paused it to make sure the video wasn't playing, and then I looked up like half an hour later, and there was this picture of Dave like, ah. Okay, so I don't need this to be star client. It'll just be client doc deserialize JSON. So I'm just copying like what I did for the Hackaday API library. So that will give me doc now contains the information that I need. So we can go back to the assistant, and we want to take out the name of the song, or here's the name of the artist. So I guess that could come up multiple times, right? There could be more than one artist. So let's just test that it's the first artist, right? So say it's a song by two people. For now, only the first person gets the credit. So, sorry, other person. So let me just look through them here. So, because I think the song name comes up twice, I think. Item artists 1. So where's this item? So he does his JSON, he's got his doc. So his doc is item. Okay, so it looks like whatever we have to do, we have to get this item. So let's do that. So I'm just reading, sorry, let me make that bigger. I'm just reading through, so this is the JSON file over on the left, basically as it came back. And then this is the code to like parse out each individual item. And you can see even in the comment here that it kind of shows what data is behind this this variable in your given example. So it's a really good way of kind of figuring out what like trees you need to go down to get what you want. So it seems like most of the information we want is under the item tree. So let's do that first. Spotify test trees. This is it mightn't be the latest Unexpected Maker, but it's definitely version 6, so it's all good. It might need to be updated, but it's the new stuff. It's the good shit. And we'll also take out the first artist from this item object that we have. First artist. So I guess if you were doing this properly, you'd probably count how many artists there were and, step through them. Is there any reason why we can't do that? Maybe. I don't care. It's fine. It doesn't seem to let you specify. Maybe I guess if you specified market, would it not send back what you want? Yeah, specifying the market does make the request much smaller, because it doesn't have a ton of stuff in it. Like it doesn't have that ton of like markets coming back. But no, it doesn't. I don't think it lets you granularly get down to that level of stuff. But I haven't really read the docs on it, so. Yeah, I'm looking at this information here. So the currently playing endpoint authorization. So we need that. Market. So if I do pass in IE, which is my market or the country, if you want to apply track relinking, I don't know what that is, but we'll look at it again. It does make the request smaller, so that might be useful. So like if you pass in the IE, it doesn't seem to have all this stuff coming back, but I don't know. I don't know if it helps a huge amount, but let's just shove that back in there for a rainy day. Yeah, like, you know, the response isn't that big, right? It's just big for an Arduino. You know, like if you were running this on a Pi or anything, like who cares? Like 10,000 or whatever, it's just cool, do whatever. But yeah, it's fine. Okay, so let's just get the first artist and let's get your request had 100 plus markets. Okay, so maybe we want to pass in markets. Did I do this example? Yeah, so that's fine. We can just drop in market pretty easily here. We can just put it in here, market IE. Yeah, so I can make that optional in a second or whatever. So what is that? What is that mark? That's like, if a song is not available in Sweden, you won't be able to see it, is it? Yeah, so some APIs let you specify exactly what you want to get returned, but most, in my experience, don't. It's nice when they do from an Arduino point of view, but it's fine. Okay, so where are we? We got our doc, buffer size, deserialized JSON. We got our doc. So this is our item, our first item album artists. Okay, so we're missing a step here. Yeah, item album. I guess if I'm just taking that one thing from it, I can just skip that step. I'm pretty sure I can do this, if I'm not mistaken. I believe you used to be able to anyways. So first artist, we need to get the artist's name out of that, which was this. Okay, first artist name equals to first artist name. What a great naming convention I've given that. Crap. Where are we? Okay, so the other thing, Foster and Allen, I'm pretty sure they're actually from the county I'm from. Foster and Allen. So I don't live there anymore, but yeah, does it say where they're from? My wife would know. County. Yes, they're from Westmead, which is the same county I'm from. I don't live there anymore, but there you go. Okay, so we can skip over all these items available in artists. So we have the artist name, so now we just need the song. So we have, here's the album art. If we wanted it for whatever reason. There's a couple of, I suppose it's biggest, starts the biggest and gets smaller. That's fine. And then we need the item name. Item album name. That's not what I want, is it? So it's fractured the name of the album. Oh, fractured is the name of the album and the song. Okay, so I probably want the album name and the name of the song, right? Yeah, it would normally be like kind of my parents' age that'd be into it. So that's interesting. Um, like, do they go did a tour of Sweden? I presume they do. Um, okay, so let's get the let's get the album name. Where was that? That was fractured item album. So I don't know where exactly they created that. Here, item, no. Where did you create item album? Oh, yes. That's fine. So we already have that. We just need to get its name. So this is going to be a Spotify. I want to create a Spotify library. So there is a project by ThingPulse of, like, they created a Spotify remote, that allows you to like skip songs and see what songs are being played and stuff on your Spotify. Like if you're listening to it on your phone or your PC or whatever. And I want to extract out like parts of that. I'm not even looking at the code that they did. It was just kind of the inspiration behind the project, basically. So, like, I would like to make these things available to people, but not in this specific project. Like, their code is completely, like, tied into using that particular screen and stuff like that. And I want to be able to let people use whatever. So the first step is to just get the name of the song that's being played and the artist and I guess the album. And then I guess like maybe the next step would be to pause, or skip songs or do the controls maybe. But yeah, so that's basically what we're doing. The original steps were a lot to do with getting OAuth tokens and stuff like that, and we still don't have a great solution for that, but it's fine for the moment. Okay, so we got this item album name. Let's just do album name, and it was item album. Right, that gives us that. Music will not play on the Arduino. No. Yeah, so like the music will still be on my phone or whatever. Any device. It like is in once your device is playing Spotify on your account, you will be able to see what songs are playing on it and control it. So Spotify have this thing called like Spotify Connect. So if I'm listening to Spotify on my Amazon smart speaker, like, so I have, for different reasons, I have two different Spotify accounts, one for the smart speaker and one for my phone. But if I'm listening to Spotify on my PC, if I take out Spotify on my phone, I can like skip songs and stuff on my PC, and same the other way around. And yeah, so it's done through the back end, yeah, to skip songs and stuff. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I guess the idea would be like for me, Sive just loves listening to like specific songs on the smart speaker over and over again, and I'd actually like to be able to just give her a control that like could skip the songs, because that smart speaker doesn't I think it's called Alex. Alexa. One of the funniest videos online was this kid was listening to a song. It was like something digger digger or something, and he's like, "Hey, play digger digger," and it was like playing big booby something or other. It's like, no. um, uh, when you have sorry, Aaron, I was gonna like get it to do something, but I decided I wouldn't. When you have Spotify, excuse me, when you have Spotify Premium, you don't see any ads. I have a family account, so you get like, I think you get like 6 accounts with that. Um, I like it. Originally, like years ago, I was kind of like, I don't, I like having the albums or whatever. Now I'm like, oh, I do not want any albums. Just stream them all to me. Don't buy anything. Uh, yeah. Yeah, there's some funny kind of situations where streamers have like text to speech stuff, and like they have Alexas in the back. Sorry, they have those things in the background, and like someone would make a donation and be like, "Computer, what's my address right now?" or something. So it's a dangerous game. Yeah, Pink Floyd. I went to see not Pink Floyd. Is it Mark Knopfler? Isn't that how you spell his name? How do you pronounce it? Knopfler. Recently, uh, it was really good. I'm not a big Pink. Sorry, no, he's Dire Straits. Who's Pink Floyd? Is what's his name? Uh, David Gilmour, Roger Waters. It must have been David Gilmour. No, no, it was Roger Waters. Yeah, it was Roger Waters. I went to see Roger Waters a couple of years ago in Dublin. Uh, a friend of mine had a spare ticket for it, and like, so I'm not big into Pink Floyd. I enjoyed the show. Thought it was really good, but like some people were like, "This is life changing." I was like, "Well, it was fine." I enjoyed it. Miss A. Yes, that's probably a good way of referring to her. Okay, so album name. Right. We're very slowly getting to this. We what else did I say we needed? We just needed the song name, which was item name. And like this would be a good start. This would be most of what we need. I guess the only other thing you might need then is the picture. But I don't know. The wall. I don't know what show. PR. Jeez, fair play to you. You're getting more work done than I am. Item name. Okay, so now that we don't need this anymore. So what this was doing before was reading the bytes and printing them to the serial monitor. Hey Ray, how's it going? But the Arduino JSON, when you do this deserialized JSON, will take a stream. So we got the client stream up to the point where the JSON starts, and then we threw it into the deserializing JSON. So that's looking after that looked after basically, hey, take that chunk of JSON or take that string that looks like JSON and turn it into a JSON object. So it's just a nice and efficient way of not kind of taking that chunk of string, storing it somewhere, then passing it into Arduino JSON and just having copies of it everywhere. Yeah, I'm good. Nice weather in Ireland the last couple of days. We broke out the barbecue 3 days in a row, so it's pretty good. Um, had some chicken on it today. It was nice. You have a receipt. Ooh, Johnny's doing work for Spotify or paying Spotify. I'm not sure. Um, okay, so I can get rid of this while loop, so we don't need that anymore. So by the time we get down here, we should have everything we need to do serial. Can I not spell serial dot print? And we'll print out artist. I'll just copy this a few times. Oh, actually, I'll just do the next part of it. Serial.println. Yeah, it's the first artist. Let's just pretend. Let's just pretend that's the artist. It will be the artist in most scenarios. Then we want the. No, we'll do song name, I guess, first. Let's change this to song name. I guess technically they're not songs, right? It could be a podcast, which is this is beyond me. Artist and then album. Okay, so let's fingers crossed, everybody. Tracks. Yeah, track is a good name. Track name. Track. Hey Jim, how's it going? Non-Swedes. Guess you can guess two of those things. Bara du hat et Volvo villa uch Vove. I don't. So Volvo is obviously the car. Artist. Yes. Volvo house cat. Do you have a house cat? Volvo. I don't have a Volvo. They're not super popular in Ireland, I would say. Where's my serial monitor? Well, hey, although I'm skeptical that artist is that twice. Has this turned say what you see, Brian? Car house cat. Yes, sure. Let's make that a thing. I'm skeptical that the track and the album are the same. That doesn't seem right to me. But okay. Apparently it is. They all have the same. Okay, so let's go to something else. What were we saying? Pink Floyd. Are they on Spotify? Yeah. Okay, so let's play this because it needs another play by the looks of things. So I'll just reset my ESP. Oh, Vove's dog. Oh, that's a dog. Yeah, I saw it said artist. Yeah, I'm just finding. Yeah, so there we go. So it's the right. That's the track. That's the artist. That's the album. Hund. Hund is a dog in German too, right? Or in Deutsch. Okay, so that's pretty good going, right? So I don't know how we're doing for heap memory or whatever, but like we can turn this into Katze. We can turn this into a library, right? Why not? Which the Katze or Hund? Hund. Okay, where are we going? Okay, let's start making a library. And if anybody feels like contributing to said library, that would be okie dokie by me. I'm very happy to get other people to do work for me. Well, like, you know, so how will we call this? Arduino Spotify library? Spotify Arduino? Spotify library Arduino? Spotify Arduino. Ah, yes. Well, this is only a sample sketch. So, yes, artist is wrong, but I'm not saving this sketch anywhere. I'm going to make a library now that does the same things as this sketch. So we will fix artist in the example, for sure. Sparino. Yeah, so apparently the Duino part in Italian means small or something, and like according to Arduino's website, you can use Duino. It's not copyright protected, but it sounds stupid in Italian if you call something like Briny Duino or whatever. Arduino Spotify Web API. Arduino Spotify API. Yeah. I feel like putting in brackets does not play music. Arduino library for integrating with the Spotify web API. So small spot. Spotify web API does not play music. I have not noticed, or I realized the first time you said arist, I realized that's what you meant. Then you said it again, and then Aaron said it. Now you were after saying it, and now I'm going to put it in the example just to annoy all of you. Lib Spotify. Yes. Yeah, this will be fine. Arduino Spotify API. Does not play music. I'll initialize with a readme. And it's going to be public. Ooh, Spotify control API. Would there be any reason why it wouldn't just be the control API? No, it's fine. We'll put that in the README if we have to. Harrison tracks. We'll put that in the README if we have to, because I guess like if you already have the bearer token and stuff like that, there might be some endpoints that would be useful to people. Other than that, like maybe some search stuff. I don't know. I don't know. And I will ignore it. Okay, so that's fine. Let's clone this basically empty repo. Do I have this open? Okay. I'm just cloning the empty repo. Okay, all good. Let's open folder. I really need to see you guys again. Just for the missing letter. Ooh, that sounds like more of a Bitloony thing than a Brine thing. That also sounds like a different project. Definitely not a Brine project. What did I call it? Arduino. Oh. Where did I create that? Arduino Spotify. Where did I put that? Explorer. I downloaded, or I cloned the repo, and I don't know where I put it. Users brines. I didn't put it in my code one? That seems like a mistake. Yeah, I didn't put it in my code one. Let's clone it again, so. Yes, why? Oh, I reinstalled thing recently. Source tree, and I guess it doesn't, or sorry, my install got corrupted or something, and it had to set up stuff again. So it's just going into the wrong folder. I'll fix it now. Come on. Arduino, Spotify, documents, code. Bam, bam, boom, boom. Okay, open folder, Arduino. Ah, yeah, there it is. I don't know, save all. Don't bother save that one. Open folder, come on. Don't save. Grand. Oh, I think that's the lib. Like it's not like this open stream, right? It's their own proprietary. Like it's not like Spotify doesn't stream you an MP3, right? So they obviously have their own library for doing the playing, I guess. Is that what you mean, Mark? Scare intruders away. Connect it to the alert. Oh, that'd be good, yeah. Banging tracks. Okay, so we got our readme. So we're just gonna create a new folder called source. And in that, we're going to create a new file called Arduino Spotify. I guess we can just call it Arduino Spotify.h, right? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back to the Hackaday API library, because I'm a copy and paste programmer. I don't know if you've noticed this, but so I'm just going to copy all of that. I'm going to change this to 2020 because that's what we're in. Arduino Spotify. Oops. An Arduino library to wrap the Spotify API. Spotify API, blah 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 blah. If define Arduino Spotify .h. Is the minus signs going to cause me problems? You don't normally have the minus signs in Arduino land, right? Well, what do I do in my Hackaday API, seeing as I'm a copy and paste programmer? Hackaday IO API. Right, rename. Spotify. You know, Spotify. Spotify. So I spelled that wrong here. Spotify. Thank you. Right, so if defined, if not defined, let's define that. Do that. Arduino JSON client.h. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'll keep it without the minus sign because somebody would have to hash include it with the minus sign too. So it's not normally what I do, so I'll keep it not like that. I suppose if I did this, I was expecting it to kind of ask me what else did I want to put there. Yeah, like that. So I can kind of keep the stuff between the two of them here. So if you've ever heard me talking about doing libraries before, I like to put like the name of the thing before it. Spotify. That's because if you had multiple libraries that all defined just a host, they would overwrite each other, the hash defines. So this fingerprint is correct as of May 5th, is it? 4th. May the 4th be with you. Yep, so yeah, we have this fingerprint here. Again, we probably won't be using them for too much longer, but we'll hold on to it for now. Yep. And we need to change it to Spotify. Fingerprint, Spotify, timeout. Yes, I'll do the now playing. What was the endpoint that we were using? It's now playing, right? Currently playing. Currently playing endpoint. Which is v1, blah, 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 blah. I don't know what. I still don't kind of fully understand what the market thing is about in this context. Like, if now playing, like, does it matter what market I'm in? What am I playing? So I'm not 100% sure what the story is with that still, but so I might make it completely optional. I guess, yeah, we want a struct back of like, well, what do Spotify call it actually? I was going to name this to be something. It's a currently playing object. Currently playing. Right, so what did we get from that? We had a char star for, yeah. See, do we want an array for the artist? No, we're just going to do first artist for the moment. First artist name. We don't need anything other than what I already have here, I think. Album name, and then track name. I'll keep the object. Oh, I might need it. Okay, so that's all good. Then we have this Arduino Spotify as my class. suppose. Arduino Spotify. It's going to take a client, and then it's also going to take a bearer token. Bearer token. Now playing returns a track object, which has market info. Okay, I get you. Yeah. So it's just kind of, it just happens to return that. So passing in the country reduces it down. So I wonder, like, if I could pass in a, does it matter if I defaulted it just to be IE, right? All the time. And even if the song wasn't available in Ireland, would it still just come back? I'm just going to leave it for the moment in terms of that. So Arduino Spotify is going to take a client and a bearer token for the moment. Maybe I'll do a set bearer token. Let's leave it at this for the moment. I can do a get a currently playing. Get project info. It would be get currently playing. Get currently playing, and we'll do an optional. Do you do the optional in the CPP file rather than the header file, right? Because I can't remember. I surely had an optional thing in here somewhere. Maybe I didn't on this actually. Something that has something optional. What has something optional? T1 falling sand. Should have used 555. This says something optional, doesn't it? Okay, so I do it here. Okay. That's fine. Where am I going? Back to Visual Studio Code. So get currently playing, and then we're passing in a chair of. So what were they called again? They are called market. And I'm going to default it to blank. So if I've done that right, so that should just pass in a default one of blank. So if somebody does get currently playing without passing in anything, it will just be a blank one and will not pass one along. But if they pass in something, we will pass it along. I don't need this. I'm gonna make this be the get currently playing buffer size. Get currently playing buffer size, which is a mouthful. I'll just do currently playing buffer size. So, do you know the way I made it like 10,000 just because it was a guess? Now people can change it if they want. So, ain't on me anymore. We do need a bearer token. And yes. Okay, so that should be our H file. Pretty good. Did I keep my Hackaday open? I did. Okay, so we can go for the raw of this. Sorry. I don't know. I was just playing that I searched for royalty free, and there was a playlist. Do I have the sample of it? No, the one that I was showing earlier was a sample, an example from this page, which doesn't seem to have a lot of countries in it or whatever. But yes. So let's new file, Arduino Spotify.cpp. I think I spelled that right. I think I didn't copy the CPP, or if I did, I overwrote it. So I can paste that in here. So we'll just do the same here. Arduino Spotify.h. You are Arduino Spotify. Just want to copy the name bearer token. Yeah, so let's just save in the bearer token to a private variable on the constructor. Let's take this Arduino Spotify and put it here. Arduino Spotify and put it there. Arduino Spotify and put it there. What else do we have? We want the currently playing. I guess maybe I could change that currently playing to be track info. That would be more generic. Well, I guess it's track info. That's the item part, right? I guess there could be some other stuff. Yeah, it'll do for now. Yeah, maybe track info would be better, but you might want to know if it is playing or not. Yeah, let's keep it like that. Let's get rid of that. What else do we have? The market. We don't have that part of it. I definitely did this somewhere. Was it Tindie? Must have been Tindie. Arduino Tindie API. All of GitHub. Because I know for sure I did a thing where I checked if shift is -1, if offset is -1. Can I just compare my char to be? Yeah, I think I can do that, right? So if I go to this, if you include market, then it won't show you all alternate tracks, same song, different market. But if you have the market, then okay, so it kind of like it would be important for people to include their own market. Okay. Well, then we will make it optional. If market is not equal to this, I don't know if I can do that, but I'm gonna do it anyways because I'm crazy. Right, so let's start with this. So we do is equal to plan endpoint. Let's make it 100 for the laugh. So if market, okay, so if market is not equal to blank blank, I'm gonna let people do whatever if they want to include a market or not. I will recommend in the example that they do, but I guess they don't have to. Where am I? Back here. So I'll just do string concat and shipped. What am I doing here? So I do Spotify current endpoint. If market is not equal to that, we want to input a market. So we do and shipped. Where did I do that? On my on this Spotify test. Yeah. Okay, so we are going to, where is it up here? Market. So we do market, and I guess we're gonna do like percentage %s or something, right? And then do the formatting, the sprintf. I think I can do this way. I'm not very good with C++, so I can do command. So into the buffer command, I want to start with command, and I also want to put in market. And then I can get rid of API key. Isn't that right? Yeah, it's percentage %d, percentage %s. Yeah, I think that should be fine. Okay, I don't need that anymore. So let's go back here. Do I need I do need this part. Okay, so hopefully by the time we've built up the thing, so we've put in our currently playing, so that expands to v1/me, blah, 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 blah. If they've passed in a market, we're going to add in the ampersand market equals percentage %s, and then we'll do a sprintf of both of those things. I guess I could sprintf the market. It should be fine. So like that's basically taking this string that's up to here and replacing that placeholder %s with the market. So that should be fine. If they have the debug flag set to true, it'll print it out. So our buffer size here, so I was using this other thing before, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to use the one from the public header file. So it's just currently playing buffer size. Because it's so variable that it could be anything. So I want to make it that if somebody finds an edge case where it's not enough, they can bump it up to 1200 without having to change the library. So that should be fine. Creating a new project info, that's not correct. We want to create a new currently playing object. Currently playing. This flag will get cleared if all goes well. Okay. Yes. Okay. So make get request, and we're passing in the command. We'll fix that up in a few minutes. Okay. So we're back down to like here. So we got our buffer size, serialization error. All good, and then we get into here. So we are going to take our currently playing object. I'm just going to replace a few of these here. Let's look at what we have there. First artist name. That'll probably change before I actually release this to be an array of artists. But for now, we'll just do it this way. So this is what I need to do for the other ones as well. We've got to cast it as a char star because it's expecting it to be a const. But you can't have consts in structs as far as I know. Right, so what did he do? It seems almost pointless to do these two here, but we'll do it anyways. Again, we might get rid of that. Makes the code a little bit easier to read, I suppose. To do this, I think. Okay, so first artist name. So it's basically the same as we were doing in our sketch there, but we're just gonna copy it into the struct instead. Track name, album name. Do I have artist spelled right? I do. Everybody will be so happy. We can get rid of all this stuff for now. That's all good. That's all good. So the only thing I need to change now is the get request stuff. So make get request. It's not going to Hackaday.io anymore. It is going to Spotify. Spotify host. The fingerprint isn't used in here. Serial print. Yeah, so port number, that's fine. Host. That's okay. We need to copy these other headers that we added. This would be client, or this the bearer token, right? No, it's just bearer token, I think. Here. So I think that's everything. I just noticed there's one place where you spelled artist wrong. Was it back in the sketch? I wasn't aware of that. Thank you for sharing. I think that's everything. So I think if we make an example now, folder, I think it's examples rather than example, isn't it? Examples, yes. And we'll make an ESP8266 folder, ESP8266. Folder, and we'll make a new folder which is get currently playing, and then we will make a new file which is get currently playing.ino, and this is basically this. Well, actually it's way less than this. So this is get your currently playing track on Spotify directly on your ESP8266. Prints, oops, actually I want to print your currently playing track on Spotify to the serial monitor using an ESP8266. You will need a bearer token. Instructions to follow. It's Arist. How you're messing with my culture here. That's just how we say it. I guess I could just send them to the developer console. No, do you know what I'll do? I'll get them to. I'll send them to this URL, and if they log into that and do all that, they'll be good. As a temp solution, go to this URL. Go to this URL, log in, and click the get token button. Get token. Your bearer token. Okay, oh, that's good. Version v6. That doesn't make sense. v6. I don't need secret.h. It also isn't a standard library. Ow, my leg is sore. SSID password. Let's get rid of that. I guess I really should be going more similar to some example. Why not the Hackaday example? Let's do this. I can't see you guys anymore. We do have thick skins. So thick we can't pronounce that word. I spelled bearer wrong. Bearer. Did I? Bearer. I did. Oh, my knee is actually really sore. What did I do to it? Let's just go like this. Standard libraries. Yep. Additional libraries. We need the Spotify one. Which is where? Arduino Spotify. .h. Library for connecting to the Spotify API. Spotify API. Let's link to it on GitHub. We're just thick in general, both of mind and of belly. Installed from GitHub, Arduino. We're down to less than 10%. Do I have so my phone's USB slot is gone to pot. It doesn't stay in half the time. The cable? Yeah. Especially my Mac cable. Come on, the stream needs this. Hey, what did you watch on Brian's stream today? We watched him try to plug in his cable into his phone. Haha. I don't know if there is fluff in it. I'll check though. Ah. Everything is thick in Ireland. Stew. Our stew is extra thick. Alright, so we don't need API keys. Oh, we can do the country. What's that called? Market. Spotify market. I'm just gonna put in IE. Country code. I don't know if that's true. Including this makes the request smaller. Is advisable. Advisable? How do you spell that? Advisable? That doesn't look right. Advisable? It has to be advisable, right? Is it? To be recommended, yes. Advisable. Close enough. Did I spell Spotify somewhere? Spotify. Where did I spell it that? Where did I spell it? Spotify? Doesn't look like it's spelled wrong. market. Oh, yes, thank you. Spotify. Spotify. Country code. I'll add more details around that some other time. I don't think we need anything else for HTTPS requests. How do I address that in other places? Nothing. Nothing. Yes, so we're just gonna do that, except we're doing an Arduino Spotify thing. Let's call this Spotify. Passing in a client, and we're gonna pass in the bearer token. Okay, yeah, sorry, that's the other thing we need. Hash define Spotify bearer token. This is just really long. A B B B C C C D D D. Whatever. I can't leave it as whatever. Hey, is it Talmont? How's it going? Spurtify. I'm really self-conscious about my spelling now. I know I'm a terrible speller, but I don't normally have like a lot of people telling me how terrible of a speller I am. I don't need any of this. What else did I do in here? I'm not self-conscious about it at all. Set fingerprint. Yes, let's do that. Spotify fingerprint. Oh, Spotify. Debug. I think I got rid of this. That is not a thing anymore. Perfect example of what I'm just getting rid of, like everything. It's hard to. I'm just terrible at spelling, anyways. Tony Lamont. And now I couldn't have guessed that the T stood for Tony, but or also that they were separate letters. But welcome, Tony. Did I pronounce Lamont right the second time? There's a spelling extension for VS Code. I need it. My own spelling error. There isn't really any extra debugging, but anyways, oh, I probably, do I need stuff requests, delay between requests? Yeah. I'm just gonna do every minute, which is terrible for a song, but like I'm not using the correct bearer tokens at the moment, so I probably can't do any better than that. Where was that? That was up here, probably somewhere. Right, so let's go down to the loop, and we'll get that done first. And this is a... Oh yeah, I don't care about any of this. I was like, this is a really long example. What was I thinking? It's not an example. I'm checking my free heap get project info for... No. Getting currently playing songs. Song. Get currently playing song. Let's make it print lin. this. So it's not project info, it is currently playing. Currently playing. And it is spot. It's the Scottish version. Lamont. Was there a rugby player or something that was called Lamont? Spotify. Get currently playing track. And we are passing in the Spotify market. Market is optional if needed. Market. Market can be excluded. Spotify. E.g. Spotify currently playing. That should. I should try debugging some Python code, but I need a break. Crashes running for about 12 hours with free invalid pointer. That sounds awful. You're linking to my own thing. What? Why are you linking to this example? Or is somebody just asking what example I'm copying from? Because that is the example I'm copying from. Print currently playing to serial. Yes, Unexpected Maker had big news in his last video. Hackaday. Did I spell Hackaday wrong? Oh. Hackaday. Hackaday. I'm sure they love that. Nobody uses that anyways, as far as I know. I just use it as a good example. Yes, but Unexpected Maker got rid of his trusty CNC PMP. Sad times. Okay, so let's go back to this thing, which was print info. I can just get rid of all of this, right? Yep. Wonder what happens when I'm not playing. I guess that's probably important too, right? We might add that. That's sad. Like, as in, what you're getting is going to be better than it. But like, that thing made a lot of tiny picos. Like, I don't know. You know, here is. Like, here are some tiny picos that it made, you know? Like, as in, that's kind of sad in some ways, even though it's been replaced by something better. Doesn't mean that it wasn't, Yeah, exactly. So it's like, you know, it served you well. Even if you had to fight with it a little bit. Currently playing. I definitely think I need to add like its current status. What do I need? I need where do I want to get to this, I suppose? Track artist album. Get rid of all of this stuff. Now I just need to fix up the currently playing part of it. And get the correct properties. So this was what? First artist name. Then it was album name. And then there was track name. I definitely think I need like a status of if it's playing at the moment. Yeah, currently playing object is playing. Yes, we definitely need that. Shared some special times together, you and that PMP. Way more time than you would have liked, probably. Okay, so I need to make a library file now. Blah, 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 blah. So we'll just go up here. What is it? Library.properties. Just copy it before we get there. New file library.properties. Did I spell that right? Probably. What am I calling this? Arduino Spotify. Arduino Spotify API. It's not really even version 1, is it? 0.1. Brian Locke. A library to wrap the Spotify API. Spotify API. Supports ESP8266, ESP32. It probably supports those. I've only tested it on this, but that's fine. What is the URL for it? It's this one. Oh, thanks, Stefan. I didn't realize that I spelled it Arist. I'm gonna get like a badge made up of Arist. I'm an Arist. Don't talk to me. I'm an Arist. I'm an Arist. You wouldn't understand. Okay, so that should make it importable into the Arduino IDE now. Include library, add zip to library. Excuse me. Waha. It's in documents, code, Spotify API. Go to examples, Arduino Spotify API. Get currently playing. I'm an Irish artist. Can I? Yeah, I'll just put it up there. Actually, I should have dragged it over here, so I could have both of them beside each other. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy the SSID. Brian stream. Brian is great. That's IE. Now I need to do the bearer token, which I'm just gonna take off screen. I need to take this one off screen as well. Quality first. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to upload now. So I just added the bearer token. It did not compile. I'm hoping it was the example that was wrong, but it probably isn't. No, currently playing. Get project info. That is not what that is. It's get currently playing. This is what I get for being a copy and paste programmer. Okay, so let's go into my Arduino IDEs. Go to portable, sketchbook, libraries, Spotify, source. I suppose I could just copy in this one. Reveal in File Explorer. I'm just going to copy this one across. Copy here, replace. Right, now let's go again. So I'm recompiling. Is it doing anything? We have got more errors. More related to copy and paste programming. Because I'm beginning to wonder if it's the right thing to do, is to do all this copy and pasting. We'll copy and paste our way out of this error. Okay. I'm sorry that we can't do the compiling on stream. We're getting more errors. Also related to copy and pasting. Guys, I'm really wondering about this copy and pasting. You see here, I copied and pasted this from the example that I did on the Arduino IDE, but because it's you're passing a pointer into the library, it needs to use these arrows rather than the dots. So we're getting there though. Maybe. Who knows what errors will be behind the next door. Yeah, that's what I should have done, Mark. But we are where we are now. It's like a game. It's like squashing the bugs. Oh, it's happening. Okay. Get currently playing song. Oh, unauthorized. Maybe those tokens don't last long. Maybe that's the limitation to them. Or maybe I messed up either. That's very possible. Let's check, I guess. Right, so I guess the first thing I would do is check my postman because I haven't changed that. Yeah, okay, so the token has expired. So that would be a problem with using that URL. So I'll just get a new token. So yeah, that makes sense. So we need to actually get a proper token. I'm just gonna add in I'll add a comment for that, I guess. Those crafty Spotify engineers. Makes sense. Blah, 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 blah. Ooh, 404 not found. I bet I have something messed up with the market thing. I'd say I messed that up somehow. Let's find out, because I've included a nifty debug variable. So I'll just uncomment that and click the play button. Guarantee it's the market thing. No, I don't guarantee. I don't guarantee anything. It could be anything. I think it's probably the market thing. No, that looks okay. Currently playing at market equals IE. That looks okay, so I wonder what is up. Did I spell something wrong? Spelling looks okay to me. They're currently playing. Print command, println. Thanks, Bali. I'll check that out tomorrow. Spotify host. Bearer token. Oh, yes. Yes. You're all right. What do I have? Do I have an ampersand? Yeah. Thank you. So I have an ampersand here when I should have a question mark. But I'd say all of you know that. So, but I'm using this as an opportunity to teach you. Maybe. Yes. Okay, thank you, everybody. That is that problem sorted. Maybe. Copy here. Yes. Replace. Yep, looks good. Wrong. Arduino IDE. Let's rewrite again. Look, you're welcome, Dustin. Anytime. Okay. We got stuff happening here, do we? Come on. Woo! I'm interested to see the heap size, but it's gonna yeah. That's the new like style of developer, right? They're everything. They're QAs, they're developers. So I'm gonna leave this a minute and see what the heap is afterwards. I just want to make sure that it's generally okay. That's a lot of heap. It will definitely be way lower than that the next time because before it hadn't created a Wi-Fi client secure at that stage. So DevSecOps, yeah, exactly. Pink Floyd sounds legit. Yeah, I decided to play a song where the album was different than the track, so I just have it playing like Pink Floyd here in the background. I don't even have the sound on, so it's not what you see, Dogs of War 2019 remix, so it's the correct song. Harris. It's still there. Arist. I think I might leave it. Let Dustin do a pull request. And I'll fix it. Where is it here? I'm an artiste. I'm an artiste. Okay, let's see. Did we get another one? Oh, the heap didn't go down nearly at all. I'm surprised by that. It is trending downwards though, which is not what you'd want. But I don't have any strings, so I don't know. Unless I'm not freeing something somewhere. I don't know. If somebody more knowledgeable about C++ wants to take a look at why the heap is trending downwards, I don't know. I wouldn't be overly worried about it until it's like until you've ran it for like a while and it's still just going down, 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 down. So we'll see how that actually works out. Connection failed. See, I could be hitting the limit of how many things I'm running. Getting currently playing song. Connection failed. Yeah. Will it work again? Yeah, worked that time. Okay, so thanks, Mark. Okay, so the last thing I'd like to do before finishing up is what happens when I'm not playing anything. I guess I don't need the Arduino to test this. I could test it using Postman. So, like, it still shows it as there, but yes, there is an is playing and it's false. So, like, it shows it as there. So, I guess I need to add this is playing option. Okay, so let's do that. Because I think that would be a nice addition to it. So, it's a bool is playing. Let's go to our assistant. See, this is playing down here. Just need that. currently playing is playing is equal to doc is playing. I don't have to cast it as a bool, I guess. I might have to cast it as a bool. I think I do in other places. Do I in the Tindie API anywhere? As bool, I do. See, like in their example in this, like they have a fixed variable, I guess, that they're like putting it into. I guess for me, I think I had to do this selected track versus now playing. It could be, yeah. I'm hotspotting my phone, like, so that could be bad. And also, you know, just sometimes you need to retry connections, I suppose. Hey Graham, how's it going? Selected track versus now playing. What's the selected track thing you're talking about? Is playing, and then as bool. So that's doc up there. Yep, that looks good. So let's add that to the example. I don't know what to do here. Let's put that there for a moment. Is playing currently playing, no, not that one, a small one, currently playing, that is playing. So if it's true, serial, oops, I suppose I should probably do an if. If currently playing serial prints, oops, yes. Oh, you get a 204 if you don't have Spotify open at all. Okay, that's interesting. I need to handle that too. I don't normally handle headers, so that's something new for me to deal with. Thank you, Rob. Is playing. Yes, no, and let's go back to fix what Rob was mentioning. Is playing. Well spotted, Rob. Okay, so that should cover that. What I'll do is I will delete this, then add it back through the add it back through the add zip to library thing. I'm just gonna do it off screen because the token is still there, although it does expire pretty shortly and it doesn't have access to much stuff. Can you play Sailing By, please? It's getting to that time of the night. It sure is. Okay, so we've added it back in. I'm just gonna take my bearer token with me. Open up that example. Oh shit. That's interesting. Right, Dustin, take it easy. Right, yeah, I've never had to actually handle the headers before. Makes sense. What's my SSD? Brine stream. Brine is great. Right, so let's just upload that and make sure we have that part working. So this was the change to add. I guess we could add the README while that's uploading to work in progress library to fetch your playing your work in progress library currently supports currently playing track. There, beautiful. What a README. Okay, so is playing no. So let's make it play, and hopefully it plays. Then we will close Spotify down. And see what happens. Okay, so it's playing again. So, okay, we got that working. I guess to handle the 204 now, so like I used to just skip over the headers, but now I should check. So I guess if string compare is not, so I'm going to get an unexpected response at the moment, right? Because I currently get a 200, but I should get a 204 no content. I don't know if I'll be able to turn off Spotify in enough places to force this to happen. So close window. Like it's probably still open on my phone now. Okay. It's currently off in as many places as I can put it. Okay, so we have an unexpected response. 204, no content. So I guess we could handle this relatively easily, right? So we're checking for the status anyways. So we could just check for a HTTP 101, 1.1, 204 no content and return false. Like, what would you do in this situation? Like, is erroring out is like, it's probably all right. What would you expect? You know, as in what should the library return at this stage? Like, if it prints to the serial monitor that there was no content, and it throws an error, like, I don't know, seems reasonable to me that it throws, doesn't it? Not playing anything, but like, what would you even pass that in as? So say like, if you return back this object currently playing, but it's not playing anything, Like, I guess maybe you could make the error be a code. So like it will return null, right? Uh, if well, it'll return it'll return an instantiated currently playing. So that's a default one, and then I set the error to be true. I make the get request. It's gonna fail. So like if make get request. So that's gonna return false. The remote thing, Colin, is just an example. Really. The remote thing is just an example, but like, I think it would be nice to have a library that says whatever. So this will return false in our current scenario because it doesn't get a 200 OK, which will just come straight down to here to close the client and return currently playing. So it would return a currently playing thing with a status of error equals true. Yeah, like even when I'm thinking about it in English, I don't know what it should do. Like, isn't what Rob was saying, return, like, is playing. If you return an object where is playing equals false, but it doesn't have an error, that maybe makes more sense, does it? Yeah, maybe it just shouldn't be an error, so that means null. Yeah. Can you null? Can you null check your struct? Struct. So in here you go. What are you playing? Nothing. I don't think he did a library, Mark, as far as I know. Anyways, sure, there's always room for more than one library. We were looking at it at the start of the stream, if I still have it. He did this, which is a sketch. But it's really specific to this screen, and I wanted to make more a more like, I don't know, generic one that you could put on any screen, or just printed a serial monitor if you want. So yeah, like this isn't a library. It's just an example sketch. Like if you wanted to take parts of this out, it's very intertwined with each other. As far as I know, anyways, he could have made a library. I know he does make libraries. So is playing, like, currently playing is error. But I don't know. I think that's okay at the moment in terms of, look, maybe I should put something better there. Yeah, maybe it shouldn't be an error. It should be something else. But like, I kind of didn't. I think I looked at his code before, but I was kind of purposely not trying to base it off his code. Just from the pure fact that I didn't want to just lift everything he had word for word. Yeah, so he has a thing called is player active. Maybe that's a good thing to do. Return a union track or error. I don't know what a union is. I'd say what you're missing, Mark, is I'd say what you're missing is that the ESP this is old now. So I'd say what's missing is the setting the fingerprint or yeah, I haven't read through it all here, but if you look at where is it here? That has my bearer token on it. If you look here, here. So older versions of if you're authorizing with a cert, you can. That's fine. But if you're not authorizing with a cert, like older versions of ESP didn't need anything, and they would just not check for who the host was. And I don't know if that's been done in this or not. Like if he's using a cert, then it's fine. But I didn't see fingerprint or cert there. I have not heard of union. Yes, I definitely won't implement it at this time. Yeah, I guess what Squix has is the is player active. That's pretty fair. Like, is in here before you try read who's playing, you check is the player active. You didn't get an error in terms of it came back as true, but yeah, I don't know. I'll leave it as error for the moment, and I'll just push PR. Or sorry, I'll just push it up. Yeah, I'm still not fully sure what I want to do around that. I would love to see a PR. Did I fix my Telegram library? Probably the answer to that question is no. But what specifically is broken in it? Okay, let's push these. Spotify API library, the properties. That all looks good. Working version of the Spotify API. Spotify API. Yeah. Push changes to master. All right. It's always a successful. You see a level in P-Touch for beer. Yes, you did. On my stream last week, I had the hilarious joke of I don't know, is that working? Yeah. The hilarious joke of putting beer on my Diet Coca-Cola can. Yeah, so look at that. Successful stream where we actually created a library. It works a bit. And yeah, that's alright. It's already got a star. That's probably me, is it? Oh no, it's one of you guys. Wow. Yeah, okay, so I'm probably gonna finish up there unless anybody has anything that they'd like to ask before I go. I'm looking forward to seeing the pull request that Gavin posted, and also the example that Bolly put in my Discord. Yeah, if anybody's interested in joining the Discord, it's in the description, I think. It should be. It's a cool place to hang out. I actually have been pretty quiet there because of moving and stuff, but like it's constantly busy. It's great. Yeah, thank you, Gavin. I appreciate it. Oh, hey, Jim. You got in there early. Okay, cool. So let's leave it at that. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Really appreciate it. Yeah. Take it easy. Bye-bye.